excited today. I'm going to share with you how I make my famous hot chili sauce. Let's take a look at the ingredients that you're going to need to make this sauce. Firstly, what you're going to need is a couple of fresh tomatoes, a lime, garlic, ginger, into the base of the sauce. You're also going to be using some coriander, some spring onions, and some other drier ingredients in here where we've basically got not so much dry, but basically we've got some pineapple, canned pineapple, and some mango slices as well. You can use fresh if you like. I just use the can because it's just easier. From the pantry, we're using vinegar, some basic white vinegar, and I also like to use a bit of the apple cider for sweetness. Salt and pepper, a little bit of honey. This is going to be a hot sauce, and I'll get to the chilies in a second. You'll really need the honey just to take away some of that heat as it comes through. And then we get to the actual chilies themselves. I've just done some harvesting this morning. I've got some Carolina Reapers, some ghost chilies, which look remarkably like Carolina Reapers, but I can tell you they're quite different. They're a really hot batch. And I've also got some Scotch Bonnets as well. So I won't use all of these, but I might use one or two of each of these here and make up 3 or 4 jars. So let's get to the chilies. As I said, these are super hot. So if you're just getting yourself some Habaneros or something like that from the supermarket, you could use probably 3 or 4 of these, or maybe a little bit more. With these super hots, I tend to use probably 1 really good Reaper, 1 really good Ghost, and a couple of the Scotch Bonnets. And that'll probably make about 3 really good jars, and it'll be quite spicy. I've made it a little bit hotter before, and I've kind of learnt my lesson. The other thing with this is when you are handling and chopping these up, use a glove. Don't rub your eyes, etc. We've all made that mistake before, so yeah, but these are really great chilies to use. So with the fruit, really important to the recipe is to get that sweetness through there. It is a sweeter sauce, but there's plenty of the savoury kick that's going to go with it. So I use the tinned fruit. I use a couple of tablespoons of the pineapple, and then I use all of the can of the mango slices, and I reserve the juice to put in just to add in for more liquid into the sauce when we actually cook. So let's get all our ingredients, and now we're going to blend them all together before we cook it. So effectively we get yourself a big mixer, or if you're a small one, do 2 batches. Put all of those ingredients in there, again just watching with the chilies and try not to lose it onto the bench like I've done, and onto the floor with half a chili there. Apart from slight mishaps of dropping stuff, we basically get all of our ingredients into the blender now. So we're now going to add into our fruit. So now it's time to get our sauce onto the stove. So just get yourself a nice large saucepan and turn that on to probably at a sort of medium-high heat to start with. We want to get it up to a boil. Pretty easy now, just pouring it all into the saucepan, our sauce mixture. Getting it all in there. Now I'm going to add some other ingredients in here. Next thing is 200 mils of the white vinegar. I'm going to put in, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar. Again, I don't like to measure much, so however you see fit. We're going to put in a cup of water, half a sec. Now the vinegar, along with the next ingredient, the salt, is going to help preserve your sauce, so it'll last, a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks in refrigerator. Plenty of salt. Sauce loves salt. Pepper. Give it a good season. Honey, about 2 tablespoons of honey. Again, it's just a Dave measurement. And last but not least, some lime. 1 lime squeezed into our saucepan. Get all the lime juice in there. Done. Get that up to a high heat. We want to bring that to a boil now. Moving the mix around. It's quite thick at the moment, as you see, but as we've added the water and the vinegar, so bring that in. You can add a bit more water if you want at this point. You'll see a bit of pineapple in there. We're going to give it another blitz after, so don't worry if there are a couple little chunks in there. And we'll bring that to the boil. Put this on now for about 5 or 10 minutes. We're just simmering it. We want to basically reduce this down. There's about 1 litre of liquid in here. We want to bring it down to about 3/4 of a litre or 600 mils, just to thicken a little bit, and then we're going to give it a blitz. So this has been on for about 25 minutes or so now. It's been on a pretty steady simmer. You can see it's dropped down by at least, about 1/3 to nearly half of that liquid's reduced away, which is really good. We're going to take it off the heat now, let it rest, let it cool down for about half an hour before we blitz it, and that'll finalise our sauce. So now we've let the sauce cool and we've transferred it into a container. I'm going to give it a blitz now to thicken the sauce up. Only do about half at a time so you don't end up. And you can make this as thick or as thin as you like. I've got a little bit thicker, personally. So now we've blitzed up our sauce. It's almost ready to go. Smells amazing, can't wait to try this. And basically I've got some containers, and make sure they're clean and sterile. Put it in. As I said, this mixer should make about 3 of these. And there you go, and that's great on eggs, meat, chicken, cereal, whatever you like. Dangerous Dave's Red Hot Chili Sauce.